So today we're starting a sermon series on how to be a Christian in the online world, and we're talking about connection today. And when you think about human speech and writing has been around for thousands of years, writing for 7,000 to 8,000 years, maybe speech for hundreds of thousands of years. And so we've had a lot of practice in that, how to interact in person and even through writing. But social media, 2006, 2004, for Twitter, for Facebook, for Gmail, I think it was 2007 with the iPhone. This is all within the last 20 years. We're all learning how to do this. And yet the church has been relevant for thousands of years and has spoken to every society, has had something relevant to say. And so we believe that the Gospels have something relevant to say to an online world as well. But it's still young. We're still figuring it out. And I think the key is we recognize the more time people spend online, there's an increase in loneliness. There were researchers who discovered this as early as 1998. And so how do we as the church? One is, how do we go forth and remember that we bear the image of Christ in all that we do? And I think that's a little easier to forget when we go online because we feel anonymous. But how do we think about building real connections, to go from pushing a like button to making the call, to making the real world connection? And how do we interact with humility and grace, the same way that Christ did? Because when we were enemies of God, God sent Jesus to die for us, to rebuild a bridge. And so how do we think about that online? How do we remember that when we go online? That we are called to repair relationships, to restore relationships, and to offer humility and grace so that we may build connections.